Good morning. I'm sure for some of you it's been a while since you heard that song. Saw some of you starting to kick, want to get in a huddle. Good morning and welcome to the Richard Barton Gym here at Nixon High School. At this time, I please ask that you stand for the presentation of colors by the J.W. Nixon Jr. ROTC under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Benny Fegan, and remain standing for the Star Spangled Banner played by our Nixon Band under the direction of Mr. Juan Sosa. Thank you. You may be seated. Once again, good morning. I am Mrs. Cassandra Mendoza, and I'm honored to be the principal of this incredible school with amazing teachers, staff, and students. At this time, I would like to recognize some of our honored guests. Honored guests, please stand as I call your name. Representing the LISD Board of Trustees, Parliamentarian Dr. Benita Ramirez. LISD Superintendent of Schools and our fierce leader, Dr. Sylvia Rios. Executive Director of Health and Occupational Safety, Mr. Oscar Perez. Executive Director of Communications for LISD, Mrs. Veronica Castillon. Inductee and City of Laredo Councilman, Mercurio Martinez III. And I believe I also saw former Mayor, Ms. Betty Flores. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Sylvia Rios to come up and say a few words to our inductees. Dr. Rios.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is always an honor and a privilege, as well as a pleasure, to be at a function like this, because this type of event really recognizes all of the good that we have, not only from today, but from the past. An alma mater is a legacy. It is an opportunity to celebrate all of the great things, all of the great ideas, all of the great doings, I'm gonna use that word, that everyone aspires to. So I would like to congratulate all of the inductees, and as well as thank every single individual who has made their lives a possibility. I know that we don't have some of our inductees here, but I will tell you that their memory is seared in our hearts, and in the hallways of this school. If you went to Nixon High School a long, long time ago and you walked just through these doors today, you can say, oh, it is so different. Maybe you're looking for that famous wall. Maybe you're looking for that famous entry. But I will tell you that even though it's a different iteration of those times, Nixon High School is still Nixon High School. Because Nixon High School is not just about a tree or a wall or a set of doors. It is about the people who make this school special. And they've made it special throughout the years. I'm from Hebronville, and I remember coming to Nixon High School as a student, as a teacher way back when. And I remember thinking, wow, what a beautiful school. I remember the Spurs sitting down with their legs crossed and their sponsor saying, my babies. And I know that some of you were Spurs, and I remember like, oh, don't move, because everybody was like in a position. But becoming a principal here, what I learned was that, yes, tradition is etched into the hallways and into every space that you have at Nixon High School. But more importantly, tradition is etched into the hearts of everyone who attends Nixon High School. Yes, I had to come to from Hebronville to learn that alma mater. And yes, at Hebronville High School, it's like this. And what did I learn? Over here, it's like this. What else did I learn? I learned that there is this fearless spirit that embodies every single person who has ever walked at Nixon High School. And that spirit, I still see it from our trustees up there in the stands, from some of you ladies and gentlemen who attend some of our games and events. It's still here. That very essence of Nixon High School goes with you wherever you go. And students, those of you who are here, you are making your own memories. You are making your own history. And when you walk out of these hallways, these classrooms, you will take with you a special set of memories. And someday, those of you who are sitting back here, someone will be recognizing you for your achievements and for what you are leaving behind to the next generation of Nixon Mustangs. Congratulations to all of the families, as well as to all of the inductees. And just remember, you will always have a special place at Nixon High School. And the last thing I want to say to you, forever green and gold. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rios. Just like Dr. Rios said, although many of the original buildings are no longer standing, the tradition, the pride, the commitment to excellence that began in 1964 is still evident in every Mustang who walks the halls of our beloved Nixon High School. Nixon has received many accolades over the years and has built a legacy that encourages our students to achieve greatness. Today, we will be honoring 14 individuals who have risen to the Nixon gold standard, as we like to say, and will be named Mustang Legends. These graduates were involved and excelled in school activities such as band, ROTC, FFA, homemaking, which now we call culinary arts, cheerleading, Golden Spurs, and athletics. This year's inductees include a member of the first graduating class of 1965, a member of the only class to have spent 6 years at Nixon, not because they took the scenic route to graduation, but because when Nixon High School opened its doors, it was a junior-senior high school for grades 7 to 12. As a principal, I think Lamar and Nixon together, wow. We'll be honoring alumni who will become real estate agents, federal agents, business owners, TV news personality, a musician, and an attorney. We'll also be celebrating 3 beloved individuals who, although are no longer with us, exemplify what a true Mustang was during their high school years and continue to be remembered. Today's ceremony began its preparation 2 years ago and came to an abrupt halt when we were overcome by the global pandemic, that affected many of our lives. As we celebrate the accomplishments of those who are inducted today, let's remember our fellow Mustangs who lost their lives or lost their loved ones during these past 2 years. We thank all our honorees for your patience, and we congratulate you as we begin our presentation and introducing the 2020 J.W. Nixon High School Mustang Legends. Omar Gonzalez will introduce our first inductee.
There are a few stories our next honoree has about himself that he can share while at Nixon High School. However, he would like to say that throughout his high school years, he met and got to know many teachers, fellow classmates, and students from other high schools. It did not matter what their socioeconomic status was, what neighborhood they lived in, or if they belonged to any particular crowd and/or organizations. Albert talked to everyone and considered them his friends. Today, almost 32 years later, he frequently comes across these friends who graduated before him, with him, and after him. And oftentimes, they will have a conversation and share a few laughs about the times then and now. After high school graduation, Albert enrolled in Laredo Junior College and earned an associate's in applied science. In 1995, he graduated from Texas A&M International University with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. In 1997, he began his federal law enforcement career with the Department of Treasury, U.S. Customs as an inspector at the Laredo Port of Entry in Laredo, Texas. Since his initial assignment in Laredo, he has been assigned to passenger and commercial operations at the 6 operational border crossings in the Port of Laredo. He worked his way up through the ranks, senior inspector, supervisor, chief officer, and in May 2011, he was promoted to watch commander and was assigned to trade operations where he oversaw core trade processes at 3 border crossings: World Trade Bridge, Columbia Solidarity Bridge, and the Railroad Bridge. In February of 2015, Albert was promoted to Assistant Port Director, Trade Operations, where he provided guidance and oversight of all cargo operations and enforcement activities. He established priorities, coordinated and aligned resources to CBP's mission objectives. In January 2018, he assumed the duty of acting port director at the Laredo Port of Entry, directing a workforce of close to 1,000 employees, with operational oversight of 6 international facilities. Laredo processes over 5 million vehicles, 15 million passengers, 40,000 commercial buses, and over 900,000 I-94 arrival permits annually. Laredo is also the biggest inland border crossing for commercial trucks in the nation, processing approximately 45% of all land import/exports between the United States and Mexico. Trade Operations is responsible for processing 2.5 million commercial trucks with an import value of over $136 billion, and collecting $700 million in duties, taxes, and processing fees. In February of 2020, he assumed the duty of acting Deputy Director of Field Operations at the Laredo Field Office, directing a workforce of over 3,200 employees with oversight of 8 ports of entry, consisting of 24 international land border crossings. That includes 18 bridges, 3 railroads, 8 airports, 1 ferry crossing, 1 seaport, and 2 dams. Albert is a native of Laredo, Texas. He has been married for 24 years to his wife, Araceli, and they have 1 son, 3 daughters, and a granddaughter. Give a warm welcome to Albert Flores from the class of 1988.
Thank you very much, Romero. You did a very good job with that intro. It's a little awkward being up here because in the line of work that I'm in, I'm usually the one doing the presenting and the recognition to the employees. So again, I was asked to prepare a few comments. Unlike some of my fellow inductees that have 20-minute speeches prepared, I hear, you're lucky if you get a couple of minutes from me. But all kidding aside, I do thank you, and it's truly an honor to be recognized as a Mustang legend. And I also would like to, congratulate all the fellow, Mustang legend inductees that are sitting here with me. The successes that I have are directly attributed to the values and principles my parents instilled into me and my siblings throughout our lives. Some of those include working hard, being honest and respectful, having an I can do attitude, and most importantly, understanding the importance of an education. I can honestly say that my times here at Nixon were probably one of the most memorable years of my life. It's incredible how much the school has changed since I was last here. Walking through the campus, I couldn't help but stop and think about all the good times and great memories I enjoyed while here at Nixon. As my introduction mentioned, I really enjoyed having had that opportunity to meet so many wonderful people, from amazing teachers, great administrative staff, fellow classmates, and so many others. But interestingly, after having met so many people, the one person I did not meet while in school was my beautiful and lovely wife, Araceli, of 26 years. She's also a graduate of class of '88, but we just never crossed paths. Amazing, right? But for all you students, right, you never know. Your significant other might be walking around without you even knowing it. But anyway, she has been by my side through the good times and the bad times, and has been my #1 supporter throughout my career in law enforcement. So thank you, my love. Again, I want to thank the Mustang Legends Committee, the Nixon High School faculty, and all of the students for making this moment special for me and my family. Thank you, forever green and gold.
Introducing our next inductee is one of our star female athletes, and I think this is a little special for her because she will also be introducing the inductee who is her uncle, Miss Larissa Madrigal.
Our next Mustang legend came to Nixon from Lamar Junior High School, where he had excelled in sports. He is a member of the first class to attend Nixon High School for 3 years, graduating with the class of 1967. He was a senior class officer, member of the Distributed Education Organization, and an integral part of the Mustang track team as a sprinter. Bethel was also a big part of the mile relay along with teammates David Hinojosa, Bobby Haynes, and Richard Walker. Bethel, along with his mile relay teammates, set 2 meet records. After graduating with Nixon High, he joined the Army National Guard and proudly served from 1969 to 1975 and received an honorable discharge. He would join the family business Librado Pina Incorporated in 1969 and would become a licensed U.S. Customs broker. He has served on various civic boards such as South Texas National Bank, Doctors Hospital of Laredo, and the Laredo Country Club. Currently, he is the president of the Librado Pina Incorporated Customs Brokers, and he has owned Rio Grande Cartage Company since 1986. He is an important member of the family business and the Laredo community. Please welcome our next Mustang legend from the class of 1967, Humberto Beto Pina.
In the middle, right?
Well, I think they stole my speech. But all in all, it's not about just me. It's about all my years here, well, at Nixon. Part of a team, part of a family. we had very little people cheering for our in sports. Let's say that's one thing I was in mostly. The ones that cheered for us were our fellow students, which like let's say against our big rival Martin High. Boo. We had maybe 200 people in the stands plus the parents, and they had the stadium filled. Well, that didn't stop us. We continued to play with as much vigor as we could. Now I see all here friends, people that have been with us in Laredo, so we are very proud of both Nixon, of course, and Laredo. That is basically all I have to say. Thank you, fellow honorees.
Congratulations, Mr. Pina. To introduce our next honoree is our head cheerleader, Ms. Clarabelle Rodriguez.
Cynthia proudly attended the newest LSD High School, J.W. Nixon, from her 1966 freshman year until graduation in 1969. She was a well-rounded student, excelling in academics while engaging in diverse extracurricular activities such as National Honor Society, Student Council, Brass Buttons, and Golden Spurs. Participating in and holding leadership responsibilities such as Deputy Marshal of the Golden Spurs afforded her opportunities to motivate and inspire her peers, travel, and serve as a school ambassador, and set goals for the future. Upon graduation, Cynthia immediately enrolled at Laredo Junior College, today's Laredo College, to begin taking her basics. After 1 year of higher education at home, she transferred to Southwest Texas State University in San Marcos, where she completed her studies and met the requirements for a Bachelor of Arts degree in Home Economics in 1973. Cynthia returned to Laredo with only one dream job in mind: to teach at her alma mater. She applied for a job with Laredo ISD and prayed for a vacancy at Nixon so she could return and assure that she would be forever green and gold. Her dream came true, and she began her teaching career in the fall of 1973 and remained teaching at J.W. Nixon High School until 2003. During the course of her career, she took on a service of leadership, serving her students, staff, and school. Cynthia served as a future homemakers of American sponsor, affording her students local and state opportunities to excel, as well as serving her department as department chairperson. Her leadership was broadened when she served colleagues of the Career and Technical Education Department as a master teacher. In addition, she served as Mrs. Estela Kramer's traveling assistant for the Golden Spurs. Together, they offered many young ladies the opportunities of a lifetime. Students attest to the fact that Cynthia never missed a sporting event, oftentimes chaperoning students on school buses to out-of-town games, always fashioned in green and gold. After retirement, Cynthia took a few years off to refresh and then began serving the teachers and students of UISD by substitute teaching. Cynthia gave her time and talent to both her church and Laredo Area Retired School Employee Association. As a LARSA member, she served as president of the local chapter in 2011, as well as serving multiple years as treasurer. In addition, she served as District 1 LARSA treasurer. She selflessly gave her time to advocate and promote the needs of all teachers. However, her greatest peace and joy came from serving her blessed Sacrament Parish as an Altar Society member, prayer group participant, and a devout Catholic. Cynthia always enjoyed sharing stories of her at Nixon and boasted of her many students who are today excelling as community leaders. She is smiling upon us from heaven,
Proud of the legacy she left and honored to be Mustang legend. From the class of 1969, rest in peace, Cynthia Rodriguez. Receiving Cynthia's plaque is our honoree son, Conrad, Vella.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm thinking as a principal, I'm looking at my students and looking at these incredible students who are introducing these inductees, and it's definitely alumni like Ms. Rodriguez that we aspire as principals that all our students become. So rest in peace, Ms. Rodriguez. Conrad, I know, personal friend of mine, she'd be extremely proud of you. Introducing our next inductee is one of our star baseball players, Ivan Salazar.
Our next honoree joined the junior high band as a young 7th grader. He would stay after school to see the high school band practice around the school. Day after day, he would just watch the band practice, and one day Mr. Menchaca, the assistant band director, offered him the opportunity to join the Mustang band. He started practicing with the band and even marched on Shirley Field during a football game. Although he was only the 7th grade student, he attended the marching contest with the high school bands in Robstown. After graduation in May 1970, accumulation of 6 straight years at Nixon Junior Senior Year High School, he went to technical school in Rio Grande Valley to study to be a high school auto mechanic instructor. After getting a 2-year associate's degree, he returned to Laredo, only to find the position had already been filled. Eli found himself working around town and kept touring during the weekends with his Tejano group. At this point, he had been performing since his junior year in high school and had been a professional musician for a little over 50 years, recording several albums and CDs. He was inducted into the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame Alice, having been recognized by the Brownsville Legacy Awards organization and the moderator for Laredo's own Tejano Legends, which is a group of musicians who have been in the music business for numerous years. The band he presently performed with for the last 42 years is Los Peppers de Victor Garza. Los Peppers performed at TTMA Tejano in 2018 and 19 fair in San Antonio, Texas, where more than 200 Tejano bands performed for 4 days and for over 100,000 music fans. They have performed at our own Laredo Jalapeno Festival and have traveled to the state of Texas over the last 50 years. Please welcome a member of the unique class of 1970, a Tejano music legend and now Nixon Mustang legend, Eleazar Eli de Hoyos.
I wrote this speech about 2 years ago, so it's got a bunch of little notes on it. Good morning, everybody. Students, faculty, family, friends, honorees. It's an honor and privilege for me to be back at my alma mater for such a special occasion. I need to put a little note in there. Both my daughters who are present are graduates of Nixon High School, and I'm proud of them. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever envision myself being bestowed such an honor as a Mustang legend. Somebody said, or somebody once told me, just be yourself. If you're good and special, things will come your way because you deserve them. And you have worked hard to achieve a higher standard than others. I kept coming to school after traveling Texas roads all weekend, playing Tejano music for fans, and since my junior year. So I find myself here before you, and I think back to the things I did and all the things I received back for my perseverance. I remember all of my high school and junior high school teachers, well, most of them. And now I understand what they were trying to teach me. They were trying to teach me, to the values of life, to appreciate what our parents could provide for us, and not what others had and we didn't. I remember writing somewhere recently how much I respected my father and how much I feared him. Respect him because he worked real hard to give us, most of the things that we needed. Fear because he said, if we didn't go to school, he would make us work where he worked. And my friends, that was hard work where he worked. So to make a long story short, I decided to stay in school, graduate, and go to technical school. It has been a long fought battle of over 50 years. Was it worth it? You bet it was. Would I do it again? You bet. So I want to thank everybody who has helped me achieve all the goals of my young or old career. And I want to thank the Mustang legends. I'm going to honor this for the rest of my life, along with my Tejano Roots Hall of Fame induction in Alice, Texas, my Brownsville Music Legacy Awards recognition, moderator for my group, Laredo Tejano Legends. And another little note in here, I am presently, I'm a member of the board of directors and consultant with ChicanoRadio.net in San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Austin, and the World Web on the Internet Airways. Well, I want to thank everybody that has helped me achieve what I have achieved in a little over 55 years. First band I ever put together was in 1965 with all Nixon band members. I had 4 saxes, no trumpets, 4 saxes. They did a great job for me and started me in my career of more than 50 years in the music business. I want to thank everybody. And now, besides all of the accolades that I have received, now Mustang legend. How cool is that? Big thanks to the selection committee and to my ex-classmates, Cynthia and Pancho, and to Nixon High School, my alma mater. Thank you. And for everything. Thank you.
I think maybe he was going to sing for us a little bit or throw a little grito or something. Congratulations. Our next inductee will be introduced by Christopher Elizondo. Big voice, I'm sure you know what he plays.
Our next honoree came down Nixon High School after attending Lamar Junior High School. His plan was to play baseball for the Mustangs, but due to a knee injury, he was not able to join any Mustang team. He soon focused on being an active member of the Future Farmers of America. There, he made many new friends and continued friendships from Lamar. Chuck was quite involved in the live fair every year. After graduation, he attended Laredo Junior College, now Laredo College. After recovering from his knee injury after high school, he began to play tennis and golf. He would spend his time coaching young boys in the community and anyone who needed help with their golf game. He soon went to work for international trucking and started his own business, Jackman Transportation, which became a very successful business. Chuck married and had 3 kids, Chuck III and twins Justin and Jennifer. Chuck was a very generous person and always helped anyone who needed his help, never expecting anything in return. He was a great contributor to his class and participated with the Nixon Tailgate organization, attending the tailgate each year. Sadly, our honoree passed away in 2018. Chuck is missed by many friends and family. So today we introduce him into the Mustang Legend class of 2020, excuse me. Rest in peace, dear friend and Mustang Chuck Jackman from class of 1970. And receiving Chuck's class is his little Rico Jackman.
Thank you, Christopher. And introducing our next, another Christopher Castro, introducing our inductee from 1977.
During the 4 years our next honoree spent at J.W. Nixon, he was a member of the Future Homemakers of America and credits Miss Cynthia Rodriguez, one of today's Mustang legends, for her guidance, knowledge, and preparation for the future. After graduation, he earned an associate's degree from Laredo Junior College, now Laredo College, and a bachelor's degree from Laredo State University, now Texas A&M International University. After earning his degree, he was fortunate to get a job with a local bank and has been in the banking industry for the last 38 years, spending all of his career with 2 local banks, one for 34 years and currently with another local bank for the past 4 years. Hard work and dedication along with the opportunities he has been given, Eddie has been able to hold various executive management positions throughout his career. His career has also taken him into work in several cities, Laredo and Houston, the state of Arizona, and currently in San Antonio. Some of the positions that he has held are Regional Retail Executive for South, East, and West Texas, Regional Retail Executive for Arizona, California, Colorado, and New Mexico, Head of Domestic and International Wealth Management, and Head of Mortgage Lending for the U.S. His ultimate goal has always been to assist customers in achieving their financial dreams in the communities they live. Today, he is currently the Chief Retail and Strategy Officer for Falcon Bank. This job has brought Eddie and his family closer to his hometown of Laredo and allows him to assist customers in this market. He has been married for 29 years. He and his wife have 2 children, Cassandra, age 28, and Eddie Jr., age 23. Today, Eddie resides in San Antonio but commutes to Laredo. Coming from a family of Nixon graduates from the class of 1977, please welcome Eddie Castaneda.
Good morning. Thank you, Chris. I want to thank the committee for this great recognition. I'm lost for words at times, and people that know me don't know that I usually am lost for words. But it's a great honor for me to be inducted and as the Mustang legend, along with the other honorees. One of the things that happened when I walked into this campus today was I hadn't been here in 45 years. I didn't know where the front office was. I didn't know where the library was. But this school is amazing. But one thing that happened when I was here was I strongly believe that there was a foundation set for me for my next journey. We mentioned Ms. Rodriguez, and I talked to Conrad, earlier, a friend of mine. She was influential. She guided us. She gave us mentorship. She told us the right from wrong. And along with the other teachers that were in the school and the advisors and the counselors, setting us up for the next journey. And what I say to the class of 2022 is the next journey is the hard journey, right? Because the hard decisions is where am I going to go to school? Am I going to stay local? Am I going to go out of town? What's going to be my profession? What do I want to do for the rest of my life? It starts now. And a lot of times people used to tell me, well, you know what? Work is very hard. And I used to always answer, work is only hard when you don't enjoy what you're doing. If you enjoy what you're doing, life is really, really good. And so I encourage the seniors to embrace what you guys are learning, the mentorship, the advice that you have gotten. Life is not going to give you a straight road, right? Some people might have a straight road to get to where they need to get. Some people might have a kind of like a windy road, and some people have different roads. And I'm an example of that, right? Because when I graduated from J.W. Nixon and attended local college, my vision was always to follow in my dad's footprints. And my dad had been a U.S. Custom agent for a long time. But for some reason or another, I applied. I got accepted. I never got the job. And one day a friend of mine called me that there's a job opening at a bank. And I thought, man, me a banker? I don't think I can do that. But I stand here before you 38 years later, still a banker, still enjoying what I'm doing every single day. So whatever you guys decide to do is make sure you enjoy what you're doing. Surround yourself with a support team, because a support team when the tough decisions come are very, very important. I was very fortunate to have my mom and dad who supported us throughout our whole life. My sister and my brother who are here today, who are also Nixon graduates, that we've always supported each other and been there for each other and give guidance. And my biggest supporter, my wife, Sandra. She's been with me when I make the tough decisions of having to leave Laredo, when I thought I would never leave Laredo. When I went to Houston and I went to Arizona and started something new, and she was by my side. And then came back to Houston and job after job with the same company, but traveling and moving our families and moving our kids. She'd always been by my side and made those decisions a lot easier. My message to the seniors is, life will give you a lot of variables. Some are going to be good, some are going to be risky, some might not work out. But at the end of the day, you follow your passion and you follow your heart, then there's no doubt that you're going to have a great life. One thing that will remain constant for the rest of our lives is that once you graduate from J.W. Nixon, it's forever green and gold. Thank you. I was so excited I forgot.
I thought he wanted to keep talking. Introducing our next legend, and who is on his way to become a legend himself, is our basketball offensive player of the year, Adrian Medellin.
A business and family man, Mercurio, fondly known as Merc. He states that he is a fiscally conservative and socially responsible Laredoan, born and raised in a family of servitude. His grandfather was the Zapata County Treasurer. His father was a former city councilman and Webb County judge who currently sits on the Laredo College Board. Today, Merc is a city councilman for District 6 and was elected to that position in December of 2018. Looking back on his time as a student at Nixon High School, Merc was very active in various clubs and organizations. He was class officer for the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years. He also served as senior class vice president and was involved in student council. He was on the staff for the W Bar, Pan American Student Forum, and a member of the famous Wall Group. During his student career at Nixon, he was selected for the Mustang Hall of Fame, Superintendent Advisory Committee, and was an active athlete playing basketball and running track. After high school, Merc entered Laredo Junior College, now known as Laredo College, and St. Stephen's Episcopal School. He then went on to attend St. Edward's University in Austin and is a graduate of the Texas Real Estate Institute. In 1985, he was a State of Texas House of Representatives legislative aide to the late Representative William N. Billy Hall Jr. He is a certified estate planner and has worked for Wells Fargo Bank Mortgage and the former Laredo National Bank. Today, Merc is a licensed real estate realtor, experienced in residential, commercial, industrial, and ranch sales and purchases. He continues to strive for further knowledge by continuing his education in real estate and real estate law. He is a very active member of the Laredo community who has contributed countless hours to such worthy organizations as numerous City of Laredo committees, Webb County Appraisal Review Board, St. Augustine School, the International Good Neighbor Committee, Washington's Birthday Celebration, Laredo Children's Museum, Laredo Manufacturing Association, Texas Rural Development Council, Presidential Electoral College, State of Texas, United Way, Borderfest, Laredo Girls and Boys Club, Texas Association of Realtors, and the Laredo Association of Realtors. Merc is married to his high school sweetheart Judy, and they have been married for 33 years. They have 3 boys, Mercurio IV, Milan, and Moises. Let us give a Mustang round of applause for Mercurio Martinez III from the class of 1981.
Thank you. Thank you, Adrian. I'd like to, first of all, thank the committee and thank Cynthia over there sitting down. She chased me around for about 2 years. First of all, with my resume and continued to about maybe a week ago chasing me for, but thank you very much. I spent a lot of years here and I have a complaint. Somebody stole my wall. It was over there because we spent a lot of time on that wall. We had such a great time here at Nixon. From Mr. Rodriguez walking by and looking at himself in the windows, combing his hair. I think some of y'all know about that. Mr. Salinas walking the corridor. Mrs. Winters, who was a godsend to all of us. She helped mold us. Mrs. De Los Santos, Norma Segura, who was un amor, Ms. Rodriguez, Cynthia, she was very good to us, helped shape who we are today. We had a lot of fun doing it. Didn't know what was going to go on tomorrow for most of us, but we persevered, we moved, we trekked on, like Eddie said. We chose our career paths. I was fortunate enough to be steady because I had a steady girlfriend, my childhood sweetheart. We've been together 33 years and 10 years before that, so we've actually been together 43 years. But we went on to do something good for this community. It was always about helping our fellow man. Here at Nixon, we all pulled for each other. We all did for each other. There's Minita over there. She was one of my elders. But we all pulled for each other. And then here we are now, 40 years later, and we're still pulling for each other. Choose your career paths. Be steady. Like Eddie said, it's not work if you're having fun. Have fun, always, and I'm telling this to the students out there, have fun. Keep tabs with your classmates, because some of you all are here today and you might not be here tomorrow. And so keep tabs with your classmates and always help those around you and try and leave your mark on this community. This community's been great to a lot of us, and anytime that you can help to try and better our community, be out there. So thank you very much to everybody that's out here today and for Nixon High School. I'm one of the few that when the parade route comes around and the Nixon Mustang band comes around, I pull out and I start doing this. And everybody starts looking at me, what are you doing? I said, forever green and gold.
Introducing our next inductee. I'm sure you've seen his picture in the paper recently. Also, I am sure this gentleman is going to become a legend in his own right once he leaves here at Nixon High School. Margarito Benavides III.
Cifredo entered J.W. Nixon in 1979 at the age of 12. Starting at the Nixon Annex proved to be quite a change and frankly a bit concerning for such a young man. Quickly adjusting, he became a member of the student council, was a W Bar yearbook staff, joined the FFA, and became a member of the bonfire committee. He was able to graduate in 1983 at the age of 16. After graduation, he attended St. Mary's University, graduating with a BA in political science in 1987. Thereafter, he attended Southern Methodist University School of Law in Dallas in 1989. graduating with a Juris Doctor degree in 1992. He then took the Texas bar exam in August of 1992, passed it, and was admitted to the State Bar of Texas in November of 1992. He is now licensed to practice in the state of Texas, as well as in the United States District Courts and the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. After graduating from law school, he worked for the Attorneys for Laredo National Bank for 2 years. He was then hired and worked for 2 large law firms based in Houston in their Laredo offices until late 1996. After January of 1997, he became one of the founding partners in a law firm known as Kazin, Muir, and Perez LLP. During his professional life, he has served as a member of and the chair of Professional Life, District 12A Grievance Committee for the State Bar of Texas. Presently, he is a member and chairman of the City of Laredo Ethics Commission. He is rated as AV by members of the state and federal judiciary, as well as by many professional peers, which signifies as having achieved the highest level of professional excellence for knowledge, communication skills, and ethical practices in the practice of law. He is married to his wife, Elizabeth, and have 2 children, Sigifredo and Sofia Perez. He has been practicing law in his hometown of Laredo, Texas, for over 27 years. Our Mustang legend from class of 1983, Mr. Sigifredo Perez, in absentia.
Thank you, Marlo. Mr. Perez could not be with us, but we do send our congratulations to Siggy. Our next inductee will be introduced by our head drum major, and I'm sure he is proud to be introducing his aunt, Joseph Sosa.
The next Nixon alumnus attended from 1979 to 1983. Her fondest memories at Nixon High School include having great teachers who cared about her success, including her father, Mr. Francisco Sosa, her band director. While at Nixon, she was highly involved in marching band, concert band, mariachi, and jazz band. She considers this a blessing as it provided her with leadership opportunities while serving as the band's student conductor and flute section leader her senior year. After graduating from Nixon, she attended Texas Women's University, where she pursued an undergraduate degree in education. She began her teaching career with Denton Independent School District, while her 2 daughters, Jessica and Christy, attended grade school where she worked. She completed her master's in curriculum and instruction while raising a newborn son, Ray, her 2 daughters, and working full-time. She continued her educational journey to complete a terminal degree and now holds a PhD in reading education with an emphasis in biliteracy. Dr. Sosa Sanchez taught public education in bilingual classrooms for 13 years, while spearheading the implementation of the first ever dual language instructional classrooms in Denton ISD. Her research contribution put the district's bilingual program on the Texas map with high honors in academics, and was able to start the district's first ever Ballet Folklorico, a group that engaged students in multicultural activities through the art of dance. The completion of her PhD led her to job opportunities in higher education, where she has served the bilingual pre-service teachers at Texas A&M University at Commerce, Texas Women's University in Denton, and University of North Texas, Dallas. She serves as an assistant professor of bilingual education, and she also serves as the assistant dean for the UNC Dallas School of Education. Her positions as a teacher, mentor, and administrator in education have granted her the opportunity to guide English language learners to successes unimagined, as she has helped many become first-generation graduates. Her efforts in research have granted her presentations at the local, state, and national levels, even presenting at the Bilingual Conference here in Laredo at Texas A&M International University in 2020. In addition to her many accolades as a renowned bilingual educator in the North Texas area, she currently serves as a trustee on the Denton ISD School Board. She has served in this capacity for 1 full term and finds this opportunity of utmost importance as we shape the lives of children through education across the country. Dr. Sosa Sanchez attributes her success to God first and foremost, her husband, Ray Sr., her children, Jessica, Christy, and Ray, and her siblings, Priscilla, Francisco Javier, Dolores, Elizabeth, Melinda, Juanita, and Juan Gerardo. All have been instrumental in who she has become today. Let us give a warm Mustang welcome from the class of 1983, my tia, Dr. Patricia Sosa Sanchez.
Good morning. Buenos días a todos. I don't know Dr. Diaz from anywhere, but I almost feel like she had stolen my speech. But I think that educators all think in the same. Dr. Rios, I apologize. I didn't want to be typing it because I didn't want to be disrespectful while you were speaking, but I appreciate everything you said because that carries so much tone in why we're here today. So, as everyone else, I am deeply honored and humbled to be standing here among this group of elite colleagues. And that's exactly what you are, and I appreciate that. Many, many special besos y abrazos to mi familia. Could not be here without you, my husband Ray, my son Ray, and my girls who, because of weather, their flights were canceled from Chicago and Wisconsin, but I know that they're somewhere over there listening. I love you all so much. Carrying a legacy, as mentioned by everyone here before, comes with a lot of responsibility as we step forward and set high standards for those that are following us. Those who fill the classrooms of this gigantic and beautifully remodeled high school, because no, it was nothing like this when we were here. But these responsibilities do come from those who were here before us, like our parents, my parents, Francisco and Elizabeth Sosa. My dad's legacy as a music educator filled the walls of these buildings with talented students whose successes honestly superseded their struggles, just like it did for me. My mom's legacy as a servant leader in nursing helped share her kindness and goodness from her heart to those around her. Like when she served as a band parent when we were all in band. And she hydrated us with popsicles in Mexico only after she had been told, do not give them anything with water here. But she knew she had to take care of us, and we had those popsicles and we were fine. So, as you see, my colleagues, the legacy continues on and on through my beloved brothers, Frank and Juan, my sisters, Priscilla, Elizabeth, Dolores, Melinda, Juanita, all of you that have been a part of my awesome family. We carry that Sosa legacy in Laredo. Thank you so much to the committee. You've done an outstanding job, and for you to continue showing those that are on this campus right now that the sky's the limit and everything that they do is unbelievable. This is a mentorship that will help them shine in the future, so thank you so much. I want to thank you, everybody, and everybody that's back here, particularly these wonderful students that presented us, to continue carrying that legacy. Joseph, John Andrew, somewhere over there, take the torch and continue that lit path to God's blessings that He puts in front of you. He will crown all of your efforts with success. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, and also congratulations to the Sosa family. To introduce our next inductee, our president of FFA and an instrumental member of our One Act play, who, by the way, just shout out because I am the principal, that's what I do, I brag about my kids. Our One Act play is the only school that will be advancing from Laredo to area, and they will be performing next week in PSA, so that's our One Act. Again, our kids continue to make, us Nixon proud. Is Mr. Raul Garcia.
Rene Gonzalez, a 1985 graduate at J.W. Nixon High School, has made a career of supporting and advocating for issues affecting the Laredo community. He is affectionately known by friends and family as Hazel, a nickname he received his freshman year as a Mustang. Rene's years at Nixon were very memorable, filled with giving much of his time to school events, clubs, organizations, and study. A very active student, Rene was a member of the student council, participating in such school activities as pep rallies, football and basketball games, student presentations, and follies. He also was on the staff for the school yearbook, the W Bar, FHA, and the famous Bonfire Committee. In 1998, Mr. Gonzalez was named to the International Who's Who of Professional Management, and in 2004, he was named to Who's Who in America. He worked as the state, federal, and international affairs director at the Laredo Development Foundation in 2000. Working with members of Congress of the US and Mexico, with cabinet members and administration officials of President Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Vicente Fox. In the years that followed, Mr. Gonzalez served as the Community Development Officer at Laredo National Bank. At the state and national levels, Rene has collaborated with different national organizations participating in numerous coalitions dealing with river trade and infrastructure. In 2001, Rene participated in George Washington University Elliott School of International Affairs Fellowship Program, Governing in the Global Age. Later in 2004, Rene participated in the National Hispanic Leadership Summit. In 2007, Mr. Gonzalez began his work at TMC, the former Texas Migrant Council, building consensus with the White House under President Obama and the US Congress. In 2011, Rene was a participant in President Obama's White House Community Leaders Briefing Series. In 2019, Rene was a participant in the Catholic Leadership Program at the University of Notre Dame. Mr. Gonzalez has served on many past boards, serving as president of Leadership Laredo, president of Kiwanis Club of Laredo, and Border Limited Laredo. He is a past board chairman of the Tex-Mex Credit Union, Mi Laredo, and the Laredo Convention and Visitors Bureau Advisory Board. He has served as a member of the Laredo Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and the Board of Housing and Community Affairs, a former board member of Avance Inc., the International Good Neighbor Council, the Border Low Income Housing Coalition Committee. It's a mouthful. He was also on the first board of Habitat for Achievement of Laredo and LULAC Council 12. In 2017, Mr. Gonzalez began working for the Diocese of Laredo, creating a message through its Catholic Sharing Appeal campaign. In 2019, Mr. Gonzalez directed, edited, and co-produced a video which won the Diocesan Mission Advancement Video Award for Excellence in Stewardship. Today, Rene is a member of the team working on the $9 million renovation of San Agustin Cathedral. Rene received his master's in public administration from Columbia Southern University and his Bachelor of Business Administration from the University of Texas at San Antonio. Without further ado, please give a round of applause from Rene Gonzalez from the class of 1985.
Thank you, Nolan, for your introduction. Having sat with you earlier, it feels that maybe I should be the one introducing you, you know? As a member of Border Olympics, dude, you guys rocked it, man. You got to see these guys play, and they were participants, and Nixon plays a major role in Border Olympic success. And so we're very proud of the athletes here at Nixon High School. Members of the nominating committee, school board member Minita Ramirez, Dr. Rios, Principal Mendoza, and the rest of the administration. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful event. The poet William Butler Yeats once wrote, "There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't met." Congratulations to all the honorees, and thank you to all the students for being here today. Today I am honored to call you friend. There is an old Spanish saying, "Dime con quien te juntes y te digo quién eres." I'm probably the luckiest person in the world. I've had many opportunities to succeed, and I'm grateful for those experiences and opportunities that have been provided to me. The opportunity to be a part of my community, to provide knowledge and direction, to work for positive change, and to always strive to do better. I do consider myself a very lucky individual. My experiences have allowed me to meet many people from different countries, many people with titles, many people that like to fight for their own area, so we fight for Laredo. Those people have allowed me to learn about other cultures, other ideas, other challenges, and other opportunities. I have learned to appreciate what I have and be grateful for those around me. I am thankful for my family, my colleagues, my friends, and high school classmates who helped create who I am today, and they'll create you. As was said here, aquí me bautizaron. I got my nickname here. And it's weird when I've been in Washington, someone says Hazel, and you're like, you know, almost 40 years later, and I still spend time talking to people that I went to school with and create memories with other Mustang alumni. Cherish the moments you are living in this building, kids. This will become part of your DNA. Soon you will be like us, forever green and gold. It's a good place to be. Stephen Covey once wrote, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." It's been fun creating my future. Thank you once again for allowing me to be with you here today, for honoring me with this recognition. This is truly special. And friends, enjoy. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Hazel. And I want to thank you also because I see you very often in our games and still supporting our Mustangs, so thank you for that. Next up, introducing our 11th inductee is Mr. Ricky Alves, also a member of our Mustang band.
Our next Mustang legend is being celebrated and honored posthumously. Sergio Garcia was a member to the Nixon tennis team and student council for 4 years. Sergio was one of Nixon's most active and dedicated top tennis players. He was a very social and devoted friend to many of his classmates. He graduated from St. Mary's University in San Antonio with a degree in international business. There he also joined Kappa Sigma fraternity and served as its president. He ventured into several businesses, including a courier business, importing produce, and lastly, a partnership with his father building homes. But Sergio's greatest passion was his family's ranch. Working the ranch, hunting, and managing it brought him much joy and peace. Throughout his life, he lived in Laredo, McAllen, and San Antonio. We know he is looking down at his alma mater today, wearing his green and gold letterman jacket, feeling honored with this recognition. With much love and Mustang pride, we honor from the class of 1988, Sergio Garcia. Receiving Sergio's plaque is Sergio's sister, Salinas Garcia.
Our next honoree will be introduced by a VMT student. If you know what VMT is, next door we do have a school that specializes in music and dance and audio and visual. And what a great school to have right next to Nixon High School. And Miss Shelby Yearly, who will be introducing our next honoree, is a great part of that school. Shelby?
Hello and good morning. I'm going to be introducing Miss Jennifer Vella. Jennifer Vella thoroughly enjoyed her time at Nixon and has fond memories of high school, the classes she took, the teachers that inspired her to do more, and the activities she participated in. The wall, which she says sadly is no longer there, and being part of the best campus in Laredo, were all part of her Nixon experience. Most importantly, Jennifer states that the friendship she made still remains strong to this day, which helped shape who she is and get her where she has gone in her life. During her time at Nixon, she was enrolled in honor classes for 3.5 years, was a varsity cheerleader for 3 years, ran track for 3 years, including the 100-yard dash, the 4x100 relay, hurdles, long jump, and high jump. She also played volleyball for 2 years and was a part of the W Bar yearbook committee for 2 years. Being a cheerleader and being on the forefront of spirit at Nixon was definitely a highlight for Jennifer. It brought a sense of commitment, as well as bringing the student body together for one cause, cheering our Mustangs to victory. Playing sports was another highlight of her high school career. It afforded her a feeling and belonging and being part of a team that was doing something good for her school and giving her something to be proud of. After graduating from Nixon, she went on to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio. There, she too was a cheerleader and graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. After graduating college, she decided to do something that not many choose to do, and that was deciding to teach kindergartners. She loved her students greatly and taught a rigorous curriculum to ensure they were easily prepared to advance to the first grade. As much as she loved teaching, an opportunity arose where she could use her teaching skills and decided to become a pharmaceutical sales representative. In this position, she received many awards, including Rookie of the Year, Best Sales Rep of the Year, as well as Top Hospital Representative within the company. Her favorite position by far was a specialty representative to plastic surgery and dermatology. In 2002, she took a break from being a career-oriented woman and decided to become the mom of 2 amazing boys. Over the next 16 years, while moving multiple times, she's continued her education. Today, she is a registered yoga instructor, a licensed esthetician in multiple states, and is now a prominent business owner. She opened up Piel Bella Day Spa, a boutique in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Since that time, she's won numerous local business awards during the past 4 years. Jennifer states that her true calling has come from volunteering with cancer societies and working with cancer patients. She's now the sole esthetician provider for one of the largest hospital systems in Northern Virginia. It is my honor to welcome our next Mustang legend from the class of 1989, Miss Jennifer Vella.
Thank you. I have to move the microphone because I come in fun size. So I wanted to say thank you. Thank you first and foremost to God. Because of all his blessings, I am here. Thank you to the Mustang Legend Committee, Dr. Rios, Mrs. Mendoza, family, friends, and of course to my husband, Jason, my son Ty, and my son Kate. My brothers Tony and Albert, who are also Nixon Mustangs, are here to support me today and have been through my entire life. When I was asked to say a few words, I wasn't sure what my audience was going to be, so coincidentally at this time, I have high school. My boys are in high school. I actually have a graduating senior and a junior. So I asked them, what are some of the things, advice, encouraging words that I have given you throughout the years in high school? And this is a little bit of a list that they gave me. Your failures don't define you. Always look for the positive in life. Go show them how smart you are. Do things for the right reasons. Brush your teeth. Gotta show those pearly whites. When we talk about our failures, we often look on them in a sense of not achieving a certain goal. And we need to look at that as a learning experience. Because without failing, we're not learning. And in our life, we're all gonna come across times that we will fail. And that's okay. They do not define you. Always look for the positive in life. We will always have highs and lows. Show up every day. Put a smile on your face and move on. Crystal clear clarity will always be on your side. Start your day with positive affirmations. Today is a good day. Attitude is everything. Mindset is important. You can do hard things. Students, graduating seniors, you can do hard things. Getting a little push sometimes to do those hard things is important, it's necessary. When I opened Pialdea in 2018, I was looking at just opening a little room, a little studio spa. And when my husband brought the contract to me and said, this is going to be your spa, you have 4 treatment rooms, you have an entryway, you have a kitchen, and I said, no. I need 1 room. And he said, no, you don't, you're ready. And I did hard things. And I've been a Best of the Berg winner every year since I opened my doors. If your goals and your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Dream big, go big, or go home. Be present. Overcome obstacles. Be in the now. Life is very short. And some of us have learned that the hard way, so be present. You can't pour from an empty cup. So take the time for yourself. Take the time to understand when you have to take a pause, when you have to take a break. Look at the outside world, but look at yourself within. Thank you again for this honor. Thank you again for the other committee, the other nominees and inductees. I love being around people that are more experienced, that have more knowledge, because that's how we learn, that's how we grow. So thank you.
Our next student to introduce, our next inductee, is one, as many of you are saying, beginning their legacy here as the captain of the volleyball team and president of the senior class, Sofia Cabello.
Since 3rd grade, Amanda knew what she wanted to do with the rest of her life, and that was to pursue a career in broadcast journalism and become a news anchor. That path started early on as she juggled being a senior at Nixon High School and a weekend news reporter at KGNS. Amanda went on to get a degree from the University of Texas, and after graduation, she came back home to Laredo to work at the CBS station. Like most broadcast journalists, Amanda moved across the country in order to move ahead. Her career has taken her to Waco, Dallas, New Mexico, Florida, and now to Austin, where she is the morning news anchor at the Fox station. Throughout her career, Amanda has reported on wildfires, ice storms, hurricanes, and presidential campaigns. She has also interviewed many newsmakers, including former Presidents Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump, during his time as the host of The Celebrity Apprentice. She was on the ground at Fort Hood and Killeen on 9/11, was one of the first reporters on the scene of the Columbia shuttle disaster, and on the news anchor desk the day the FBI and police caught the Austin serial bomber. Amanda's career has allowed her to meet some of the most interesting people in the world, especially those who are contributing to our communities in a positive way. For her, it is an honor to tell their stories. Amanda is a multi-Emmy Award winner, a proud wife, and a devoted mother. From the class of 1995, give a Mustang round of applause to Amanda Salinas Cunningham in absentia.
And to introduce our final inductee for the Mustang Legends 2020 is also one of our student athletes, Abigail Noble.
Our first honoree was part of the ever important first Nixon High School graduate class of 1965. A transfer from Ursuline Academy, a private school, Nixon was quite a change, but Dodie fit right in as many of her childhood friends were already there. Dodie was a member of the Future Homemakers of America and was inducted into the Brass Buttons, an honors organization helping both at school and in the community. After graduation, she worked for the summer as a teacher aide at Ryan and decided to pursue other avenues. She attended Laredo Junior College for 1 year and was inducted into the Phi Theta Kappa Honorary Scholastic Society, later attending the University of Miami and then the University of Texas. Once Dodie started working in retail at a local boutique, Polly Adams, she found a love of fashion. In 1970, searching for adventure, she went to work in South Africa for the U.S. Foreign Service for 4.5 years. It was a great experience, and upon returning home, she joined the family business Fosters and was back working retail and home decor. She immediately became active in the Women's City Club, Texican Cattlewomen, Laredo Philharmonic Muscular Dystrophy Association, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Laredo Country Club, where she served as the first and only woman president. She also served on the Washington's Birthday Association Board of Directors and the Equestrian Order of the Holy Sepulchre of Jerusalem. In 2011, she joined the real estate business. It was her 5th career and where she continues to thrive. Dodie and her sister Susan, also a Nixon grad, were honored by the Muscular Dystrophy Tres Amigos humanitarian dinner in 1966. In 2001, the Foster family was inducted into the Junior Achievement of Laredo Business Hall of Fame, and in 2019, Dodie was awarded the Volunteer of the Year by Laredo Area Community Foundation for her work and with the Women's Cities Club. Please welcome our first 2020 Mustang legend from the first class at Nixon High, 1965, Dodie Foster, in absentia.
So once again, let's give a big round of applause to the 2020 Mustang Legend inductees, all 12. Spurs are usually joining us today in today's ceremony. However, we want to wish our Golden Spurs the best of luck. They are currently, right now I believe, as we speak, on the floor at national competition in Arlington, Texas. So we want to wish our Golden Spurs the best of luck. But on the floor, performing for you today, the legendary horse, is our Nixon High School cheerleaders. Of course, the horse will be played by our Nixon band. So you want to get on your feet. I know some of you might still know that dance, and we will not judge, we promise. But for your entertainment, the horse. Please join us and you please stand as our band will be also playing our alma mater. So I'm sure you have Ms. Rodriguez, I'm sure she made you memorize it. And in case you forgot it, the words are right above us. So well embedded in our hearts. Well embedded. Loud and proud, my inductees, my alumni, my students, they know what I expect from them when we play the alma mater. Mr. Sosa?